Evening Steelers, how is everybody out there? If everybody is out there, how are you all doing? How do John? How do Barnes? Good to see you both here. Yeah, and John says, hit that like button. You say you've just finished Sean's new podcast. Yes, it was very good, wasn't it? Mark Festoso, he sent me a copy of his Stalingrad bits for Fireball Forward. I've still not had a chance to play Fireball Forward yet, so I don't think it works very well as a solo game. I'm sure you could probably work it out. So that's why I haven't done it yet. I just haven't had a chance to play it with my mates either. So, but I will do at some point. Nice, simple, easy game by the looks of things. Hope everybody's all right. Anyway, let me know who's out there. Evening, Steve. You're on board. Good to see you. I was kind of a bit. Yesterday, I couldn't really find anything to paint. Evening, Andy. Who else is in? Dave, evening. Alid, evening. On the garden, painting hills for real group game tomorrow. Excellent. Andy, friends General Haig. Ahoy to you as well. Evening. Yeah, like last night, evening Simon. I was watching the Plastic Podcast, Plastic Crack Podcast. Trey, evening. Good afternoon. And I was struggling to find something to paint. Greg, evening to you too. And I started work on let me show you. Tiny's on my knees. She won't let me up. I did start work. Hello, Tiny. Hiya, Jonas. Hiya, Nick. I started work on this, the Roland C2 model that I've had in my stash pile for a long time. Excuse me, young lady. And I've got another one of these, and I built it years ago, probably about 10 years ago. And I thought, I want to replace it. This is my favourite aircraft of the First World War. I'm going to hold it up a little bit more. And the Roland C2, it's a lovely looking aeroplane. But I realise the interior of it is all wooden, and I can't be bothered to paint the wooden interiors. Thanks for sending our stuff through for me, John, before. So what I did, I found some decals online, and I'm going to use those instead. Some wooden decals, and I'm going to cut those out, and I'm going to stick those in place instead of painting it, because it's going to be a lot easier. Now, I don't know why I'm doing it, simply because nobody is ever going to see it apart from me when I put the thing together, when I first actually build it. So it's one of those crazy things that you do when you're making models. Like the lads were talking about last night, actually, about painting figures that go on the inside of tanks and things. And it's what you do when you paint them, because if you didn't do it, then you would know that you hadn't done it. So I was kind of struggling for things to paint, but then today, Sarissa, through the post, the rest of the wooden shingles came for me in the post today. So I was actually able to finish off the roof of this little train station that they make. I got their train station, and this was it's 15mm one, so it's for What a Cowboy. And I don't know if anybody saw the bench update. You see what you mean in your email reply? Yeah, go with the decals. And in the update on Sunday, I'd got halfway through literally roofing this thing, and then I ran out of roof shingles, so I had to buy some from over at Sarissa. But they're very good, because very quickly they came through. I think I ordered them maybe on Friday before the bank holiday, and they arrived today. So you paint a little bit more. You can't be bothered with that 3-foot rule and all that. Yeah, but it's not a wargaming model, Steve. That's the difference. It's an actual model. So that's why I want to do it in. That's why I want to do all the interior. Like I say, that's the difference. If it was a table model, then yeah, it'd be very different. So I thought, what I'll do is, I'll get this finished off, because I want to actually paint this, because I can't play. Well, I can't play What a Cowboy. I can't play another What a Cowboy, the one I wanted to play, until I've got this painted, because I wanted to. In the campaign, they're moving on to the railway station, so that's what we're going to do tonight. So I'm going to paint it up in its basic form. We'll see how we go. If we're still around later on and I've managed to get through this quite quickly, I've got another building here that again has been on the paint desk for, well, on the pile for at least a couple of weeks now. I put it all together and stuff and got it to this point, and I just haven't done anything more with it. It's one of the 3D printed ones. Well, not for wargaming. Yeah, some of us don't just paint for wargaming, Steve. So literally, I mean, it's old wood, so it's going to be dead easy. It's just going to be lots of dry brushing. So the first thing I'm painting here is I'm going to be using green grey by Vallejo. Then I'm going to add the Americana Deco Art Fawn over the top of that, and then finally it's going to be a dry brush of stone grey. But I'm also going to do a base as well, and then I might get to do the details. What does Dave say? You're waiting for stuff to arrive, so dug back into your painting stuff. You really need to do. Redoing Prime, Blood Bowl team, you know, it's not a war game, not historical elves. Madness. Yeah, I've got some of the old, I've got a load of the old second edition Blood Bowl stuff, because I bought everything because I wanted to relive my childhood and buy all the stuff that I couldn't afford when I was a kid, when I had a lot of money coming in. But I've done it, I've painted it, and it's all sitting there now. And I was thinking the other day I might just sell it all, you know. I've got some half-painted elves, I've got some halflings, so a few metal humans. These are all metal figures as well. I've got an orc team, a dwarf team, an ogre team, a dark elf team, and a goblin team. So I went through all the classics, but yeah, I don't know. It's probably like thousands of pounds worth of stuff. You know, I played with it, and it's not a very good game. I know 3rd edition is meant to be better, but I just, you know, it's a bit dull. But anyway, what's everybody else painting out there? Tell us that. Let us know, and also hit that like button. So anyway, dry brushing. Back to what I'm doing. So literally hitting this up with green grey first of all. So yeah, I was thinking about just flogging them, but I've also been thinking about flogging my Wings of Glory collection as well, because there's about 120 aircraft, and some of the rare ones as well are in there. So I might, I don't know, just to free up a bit of space really, just to get rid of these things that I just don't use anymore. I know it breaks my heart to actually think about, you know, selling this stuff when you spend such a long time on it and money on it and things. Metal figures rule. Yeah, not when you're carrying them around to the club and stuff. 6mm Egyptians for a Crusades game on your table tonight. Excellent. Cowboys, should I say cowgirls? Excellent. Nostalgia can make you buy weird stuff. I bought loads of Razorburn stuff and I realised I don't really like it. Yeah, I mean, we played a lot of the Blood Bowl. Me and my mate, we played quite a lot of it. But I don't think it's something I would rush back to now. I played 1 or 2 games of the other version, the 3rd edition, and it was much better because it's the turn. It's like Crossfire. The turn turns over when you make a mistake or something, which I quite liked. But I can't remember. I can't be bothered to sit down and read the rules. You know, that's the thing. It's like I've done everything. How do, Steve? More 15mm Soviets. Excellent. Yayo group. Good stuff. I'm glad to hear it. And those cowboys are looking good, Steve. It's good to see somebody else on the What a Cowboy bandwagon as well. You'll love the game, it's great. I was playing a Star Wars version of it this weekend, which I'm just now editing the video for. Me and my mate had a game, and then I recorded a video of it as well. And John sent me over John Savage sent over the what's it called, the Moderns version of it as well. Batch paint in 5T3476 1kV, excellent. Also thinking about what a turnip. Games to the past never live to the memories. No, they don't. They're best. Some of them are best left in the past. Dreadboil is so much better than Blood Bowl in your opinion. I'm sure it probably is, Steve, but I've zero interest in it. The lads at the club play it a lot. 15mm Assyrian slingers, still slow going. Literally the only reason that I got the Blood Bowl stuff is because of nostalgia, because I wanted, as I say, when I was a kid, and you saw all the adverts in White Dwarf for, like, you know, the elf teams and stuff, Elfheim Eagles and the Oldham Ogres and stuff like that. I always wanted them, but just obviously on pocket money, you could never afford them, and then I had lots of disposable income, so I was just it didn't matter how much they cost, and even then they were really expensive because they were the old classic GW stuff. So I bought them. Like, I'd never filled out the elf team, that's why it's unpainted, because I could only get a few of the figures because they were ridiculously expensive. Talking like 10 or 15 years ago now. And they were stupidly expensive then, so they must be now. BB20 is a slick game, it's false, but it's good to see GW games survive without company support for years. Yeah, I know it's got a living rule book or something, hasn't it, online. But as I say, I'm not interested in it it was literally nostalgia, nothing else. I've got no interest in the game whatsoever these days. And they're just taking up space in a box. So I'm just thinking of flogging them on. And the same way, like I say, Wings of Glory stuff. I think Algae is such a much better game than Wings of Glory. And I've got a massive 1/300 scale collection of First World War aircraft now. Why do I need a 1/1/4 scale one? GW expensive. No, this is second hand market, not just the first hand market. I mean, the old GW figures are incredibly collectible. And I'm sitting on a goddamn gold mine. So, I prefer to spend the money on something else. So I might just sort them out and get them flogged on. If I did them as a team, you could probably do them quite a lot because they are all painted up. Oh yeah, Dwarf Giants, that's with the other one. Did those as well. Evening, John. Sell them and buy more cowboys. I've got bags full of cowboys actually down here, Steve. Got loads of them that I've yet to touch. I've got more than enough cowboys, I think, for never mind for thingy. The next thing I'm going to try with What a Cowboy is going to be What a Drocker, Juice Dread version. I might do that this weekend. I might have a little tryout game of that and see how that goes. Sitting on a lead mountain, yes indeed. A golden lead mountain. So if anybody wants a Blood Bowl, see, I don't even know why I'm talking about Blood Bowl. Just came to me for some reason. So yeah, if anybody wants a Blood Bowl team, let me know. Second edition, obviously. 16 figures as well, none of this 12 figure nonsense that they changed it into. Old school. And I've got the in the proper scale. What, 15 mil? I am in the proper scale. Building a spreadsheet with all your periods games being friends and I have. So concentrate on those games. Have to resume your Sable powers. Good idea. Very good idea. Still painting Epic ACW. Good stuff. Sorting out some old D-Day V3 Flames of War stuff in hopes to paint some for the anniversary. Sell them and pay tiny with them appearances in the videos. Not a chance. Not a chance. She gets enough cuddles and enough dreamies to keep her going forever. That little shit. She gets nothing. She spent an entire day laying in a little hammock today. So she can whistle if she thinks she's getting royalties. It's not a bag full of cowboys, fistful. Good point. A fistful of cowboys. The only problem with this is I put the thing together, so it's going to be difficult to get underneath these eaves, but oh well. Oh, the awning, I suppose, isn't it? Not eaves. Second edition Blood Bowl 94, best summer holidays ever. Yeah, I think I bought it when I was on holiday in Jersey. Is 94 when it was released? No, it must be before that, because I was a real nipper. I was in my early teens when it was released. Probably about 14, so 88, 89? Somebody fact check that. But it was ages before the third edition came out, because they kind of killed it off, didn't they? And then, but yeah, I've got the polystyrene pitch and everything. I've got the full. I've even got the Star Players handbook, and I think I've got a couple of the Star Players as well. I'm only jealous of her. I am actually. God, yeah, I wish I could have a bloody life like that. Little bleeder. But yes, it will. Getting rid of the Blood Bowl stuff will certainly free up some space for more things like cowboys or other nice things that I like. Right, let's have a look. Right, so that's the basic green grey on there. So this is it's a really good colour for old wood. Green grey. You think you need to get into War Cowboy? You certainly do, buddy. Go and watch my video on it. I make plenty of mistakes in it, but there's more coming where I make less mistakes. Fewer mistakes, you know. So I was just uploading the game. I played 2 games over the long weekend because I had Friday off, and one of them 88 for the 2nd edition. There you go. So I was about 14 when it came out. 3rd in 94. There you go. Yeah, by 94 I got no interest in Games Workshop or what they were doing. I actually had a copy of the 1st edition. I was going through some old photos and I was looking at the pictures. Also rebasing Hogs and the House line for What a Cowboy at the Weekend. Excellent. I was going through my old photos earlier on, and I found some of stuff I was putting on eBay. There was a load of games that I got off my friend. When they moved into their house, their loft was absolutely rammed with old classic games like the original Blood Bowl, Kings and Things, a lot of the Avalon Hill games, early Avalon Hill stuff. What else was there in there? There was 2 copies of Space Hulk, 3 in fact, because I took 2 off them and they kept one, and she gave them to me, and so I flogged them on eBay. Didn't get a great deal for them, but I was just looking through the old games. There was some stuff I was thinking I should have kept that. It was like the original Talisman and things like that. It's an 80s game. Blood Bowl 20 is being fully backed by GW now, as well as a lot of third-party release, I'm sure. I'm going to look at What a Cowboy when I'm in the UK later this year. Can pick it up and tell her why I find a riff raffle. How about What a Bushwhacker? That was the name of partisans in the American Civil War. They went raiding and wrecking behind enemy lines. Yeah, you could quite easily do that. Somebody's doing it, I'm fairly sure. I think somebody was talking about setting it in the American Civil War. It works for anything really. Any small scale skirmish of that ilk. And it's good because it is full of decision making. The rules themselves are pretty simple, but it's the decisions that make it difficult. So yeah, right now I'm adding Fawn. So yeah, lost my thread of what I was talking about. It must have been a lie. And yeah, that was it. There were loads of games. I was just looking through my my pictures of them for eBay and stuff, and I'd forgotten how many these. And I wish I'd hung on to Space Hulk, because that's a fantastic game. I mean, apart from the fact that they decided to shove a load of special sauce all over it and disguise the flavour. The original was a great game, full of tension. Probably the best game that Games Workshop ever produced, I think, in my opinion. We played Aliens version of it, because obviously it's just aliens anyway. They must have all just gone to the cinema one time and said, oh, we could play that. Could turn that into a game. Imagine all the Games Workshop staffers going out to the cinema to watch Aliens together. Then the next day, T-Brig inventing Space Hulk. Jervis Johnson sitting down and writing it. Because that's what you do, innit? Has anyone adopted WOC for the Firefly universe? No. The show was a Western inspired. No. They could have brought a new house for the games. They should have done. God knows who it was. Who was living in there. But yeah, they just left everything up in the loft. A treasure trove of early board games. So it makes you wonder what else they'd got up there if they'd, because my mates let some other friends come round and clear them out first of all. So I don't even know what. I just got the second pickings. Yeah, good times. Painting these houses have been dead simple. The Sarissa and Warbases one. It's just literally layers of dry brushing of various browns and greys. More grey than anything else. Just to give them that good old-fashioned windswept look and battered look from the weather. Oh, there's 21 folk out there watching this, so give us a shout. Let me know who else is out there. We're very quiet in chat tonight. I guess everybody's painting or something. I was thinking about doing a live What's Cowboy game as well at some point. I've not done a live game for a long time. Can't remember the last one I did. It's quite a while ago though. And this camera and all this setup and stuff, I bought it all to do live stuff with. I was going to do more live games, I just never got around to them. But I think What a Cowboy would work. From what I've having played it a few times now, it doesn't seem to go much longer, for me at least, than a couple of turns. And you could probably play a game definitely in a couple of hours, quite easily. Which is why it's a good club game, because it means you can go, you can play the couple of games in a night. So you could actually do a campaign just in a few weeks, really. Doesn't have to be that long. And the campaign is fun as well. I'll be working my way through that with the Snaggletooth boys. But Warlord did a thing called a Graveyard Shift for their Jewish Dread game, which I'm not massively keen on. But I like the figures. It's a northern look, grey houses on grey streets in grey towns. Painting a Pendragon. Ian is painting a Pendragon Russian village at the moment. Good stuff. It's a weathered wood look, Dave, more than anything else. Because untreated weathered wood goes grey, not brown. And they did the night shift solo version of Jewish Dread, and it had quite a lot of really nice little characters in it. Because the thing with Jewish Dread is I don't want everything just to be a shootout. The thing I like about Jewish Dread was just his everyday walking the streets of Mega City and just the everyday crimes. They're far more interesting than the shootout and stuff. And their solo version kind of had that a little bit, like chasing pickpockets and stuff like that. So I might have a look at that again. And also in other news as well, Paul over at Sabotage has dispatched the Battle of Britain 1600 aircraft for me. So that's probably why I don't want to start anything else at the moment, because I know they're coming. And I want to get those started as soon as they arrive, because I finished off the aircraft sheets for those, cutting them up and stuff. I got them printed over at Docs Direct, and then they're going to be I've laminated them and cut them down to size and stuff, so they're ready to go now. So I just need the actual aircraft themselves, but they'll be here anytime soon. So what I'm going to do with that is, instead of painting, like 12 Spitfires at once, well, what I'll do is I'll probably paint 12 Spitfires, then I'll probably paint 12 Messerschmitts, then 12 Hurricanes, and then 12 110s, and then you know, do it that way so I can then at least get something on the table pretty quickly. And I think that's the idea, that's my plan. But God knows when I ever get anything on the table. It never normally happens, does it? Go on, there's 26 people watching this and only 18 likes. Hit that like button. Please, don't make me keep asking you. Begging for likes. I'll get Tiny on screen wherever she is. Oh, she was up behind me, but she's not. She's disappeared off again. She's probably gone back to her little hammock. I just need to do the base of this. Well, I've got most of the basic painting done already, you see. Nice and simple. I need to do the chimney and all some of the details and things now. But apart from that, it's pretty much ready. I might have this finished tomorrow night. I won't get it done tonight because I'm going to have to put some bits and pieces on it. Stuff. Details, as they're known in the trade. Just give it a good old brush up. What I don't have is I don't have a 15mm scale train yet. He says yet. I might see if there's any 3D printed ones available. I was thinking about getting a DeLorean as well. You got all your Judge Dredd comics from 77 to the end of the 80s, all in mint condition. Brilliant. I bet they're worth a penny. Yeah, I used to have tons of 2000 ADs, not from the first edition, but I used to collect the back issues as well. I started reading it probably in about the mid-80s. I mean, I stopped in about the mid-90s, but I've been buying some of the old Judge Dredd graphic novels as well, just to revisit some of the old stories. And they're great. Some are great anyway. Yeah, it's I love Judge Dredd. It's terrific. Right, well, right. So I'm going to do this Chimberley now. Just wondering what colour to paint it in. I'm going to do it in brown, dark brown. That'll do. Then I'm going to paint all the windows in. What time are we on? It's only 8 o'clock. So yeah, for some reason YouTube is struggling tonight. I don't know if anybody else has been on it. You need to get a train with a removable roof and have a gunfight on a train. So that'd be a good idea actually. You could do a gunfight on a moving train. That would be a dead easy thing to do. There's a couple of Mansions of Madness scenarios which are set on trains, and an Arkham Horror one that's set on a train as well. And all you do is you just move up and down the train itself. Really nice, easy way of doing it. Yeah, I'm uploading a couple of videos for Chain of Command First World War. I recorded it this weekend. A German attack on British positions, and for some reason YouTube is taking forever to upload it. They've been uploading for nearly 2 hours, and they're only on about 50%. One of them is the ad-free version for Patreons, and one's for the hoi polloi. But they're only just about an hour and 20 minutes long, and normally those things only take about an hour or so to load up. You're not sure if it's whether you dug out more land snakes earlier, glutton for punishment. You must be, man. You must be mad. Dave says, I think I'm waiting on his supplies from 6mm tree clumps. Enough 2-inch square pieces to go 4x4 table. Good stuff. Chancellorville's almost all forested. Evening, Doug. I got in the bath and actually put water in this time. Pretty Aztecs to Glorious Louvre to Dave next month. Good stuff. You enjoyed the game last Thursday, Doug? It was cracking, I thought. I had a right laugh. Had a game of water tanker down at the club. A big 9-player game. It was madness. Lots of laughter. That's what you want, isn't it? I'm going to paint the roof. I'm going to paint the top of the chimney in black. That's what I'm going to do. So why not? or German grey, because I thought that was black. It's close enough. There we go. I was watching when I bought What a Cowboy. I was watching Godless. I don't know if anybody's seen it on Netflix. Well, that's well worth a watch. It's great drama. Nice, slow burning drama. Really good stuff. Andrew says, "What do you use for your ground texture, both minis and terrain?" This stuff on this, I'll show you. It's silver sand. I've got it here, mixed with, and hopefully you can see this, mixed with some cork bits that I got from somewhere, can't remember where, and also some railway modelling ballast, just to give it a bit of a messed up feeling. Normally what I'll normally use on my bases, I just use what's the word, polyfiller. Then I paint it, but then I put static grass over the top to match my tabletop. That's what I usually use. The other thing I use as well is if the urge takes me, if it's something else that's not Wild West, I use this stuff, the Vallejo Earth texture. I get it in different colours. I've got the dark earth one here. It doesn't really matter because I repaint it anyway. You mix demolition dust into paint for your 6mm. That would work. This is just like a paste basically that's got a little bit of really thin silver sand in it. So it's got a nice texture to it. So when it dries, so I'll repaint it usually. Still working on the Mercian American Rifle Platoon for Mortain 44 scenario for Colk. Good stuff. Good to have you on board, wannabe painter. So yeah, it depends on what I'm doing really. As I say, this is Wild West stuff, so it's slightly different. So I've got a different colour for this, a different texture for this, should I say. Right, let's do some black windows. And we'll go from there, I think. You could do with a little bit of weathering and then some, just a bit of wash on the floor. It's all pretty much almost done, to be honest. Nice and easy. So I'm just cutting in the windows here with black. I figured windows on glass in cowboy times probably isn't particularly very good high quality glass, so it's probably not going to be very reflective. I figure black is good for that. I know a lot of people like to paint their glass blue and things as though it's reflecting the sky, but I always find if you look at windows from a distance, they're generally black anyway. And I would have thought even more so for the cowboys. So, would it be of interest, a live game? If I were to play a live game of something, probably Judge Dredd version of What a Cowboy. I know Travis, they always have live games. Usually they're a bit too early, a bit too late. Sorry for us over here in the over the pond. I think one of the last live games I played was Poor Bloody Infantry PBI by Peter Pig. It's quite a while ago. It's always fun. A lot of pressure though. You've got to remember it. Something like Undaunted actually would make a good live game, I think, because it's nice and simple. We're saying a few board look for the saloon barroom brawls. Maybe some dust pigment on the glass. Yeah, I'm not going to go that far. There's always a lot of dust in a good Western. Evening, Tim. A live dread-based game. Yes, please. Okay. Well, there's one vote for it. I might do it next week then. I'll think about it. Also, depends on work as well, of course. But I'm sure it's a nice little simple game of Juddly Dreadly. I just need to go through the modern version and just have a look at what the different kinds of weapons are, and work out the effects of things like the heat seeker and the ricochet, rubber ricochet stuff that he uses, and what else? High X. I don't know what else there is. Armor piercing. 6 different types of ammunition, isn't it? You try to convince your better half to play Undaunted. How far did that go? I've almost convinced my wife to if it's simple, I'll be an extra in the smartest. She saw it and she said, "What's Undaunted?" I said, "Oh, you won't like it. It's a card building war game and deck building war game." She likes deck building games, like Dominion and other things like Wingspan and stuff. And she went, "Oh, okay, I might try that." I said, "All right, let's try it then." And she said, "Well, maybe another time because I'm too tired to try and learn a new game." I was like, almost got playing a war game without her knowing. She's probably watching now, listening. But maybe I'll convince her into it. This that I'm using at the moment, this is Flurry Wash sand. So they've got I finally found a use for it, and it works really well on these on the bases for the cowboy stuff, for the western stuff. Even though I'm using a green cloth, I still can't get away from the dusty west or the spaghetti western west. I should really just do them with green, but I don't bother. But this is great stuff, and it doesn't take long to dry. It's a clay wash, and it gets right into all the nooks and crannies. It looks quite dark immediately, but then it dries up perfect. I use it for everything. I use the grime for even more things, and I'm just about to use the grime now because I'm going to do some weathering streaks down the roof, and then that's pretty much almost done. It's going to need a little bit more dry brushing when the flurry wash down here has dried, which won't be till tomorrow morning anyway. Maybe it's just me. Is anyone else getting a sticky feed in the live stream? You're probably, yes, it's probably not just you. The bit rate had fallen out, I'm afraid. It should be back now. Yes, it wasn't. Sometimes the internet doesn't always play for me. Yes, YouTube is being a bit of a douchebag today, I think. Right, there we are. There's a grime, and then the other one I use a lot of as well is the rust. But yes, I'm glad I finally found a use for the sand. Hopefully it shouldn't be too sticky now, ladies and gents. So, this is some nice simple weathering. There's that little brush. So I get some of this, put it underneath some of these. I've done a full video on painting the western buildings and stuff. So all these techniques I've just, but it won't be out for ages. So I was looking at my schedule, well, my video backlog, and currently they're running up to, I think, up to the 1st of September. So I've currently got enough videos at the moment to keep going. I wouldn't have to make another video until September to keep videos coming out once a week. That's not bad, is it? Hex Tabletop, even though I had the day off today and doesn't feel like a Tuesday. Hope everyone's well. I had the day off yesterday, it didn't feel like a Tuesday today either. That's the problem with bank holiday days. It takes a while to get back into the routine of things. So yeah, just doing a few streaks on this bad boy, and I think I'm going to leave this for tonight. It'll need some more work, but that's going to be about it. I'm pretty close to finishing it, which is good, because as I said, I kind of wanted it for this weekend, but I'm glad it didn't come, because otherwise I want to play the Star Wars version of it. Long time till the next one now, though. Till the next what? Video? Friday, unless you're a Patreon and you will have already got it. There we go. Monday is your name will do off, so no new for you. I can hear Tiny shuffling a bar behind me. Makes me nervous. Is there anything else I need to do on this? I don't think so. I might add a bit of wash on the chimney just to give it a bit of a different colour to the flatness. But that's going to be about it, I think. Yeah, all bank holidays. Not videos. Yeah, I'm not sure when the next one is. August? No, there's one before that. Right. I think we'll do with that. I think we'll do that. That'll finish up there. What are you doing, Tiny? She's walking all over my teddy bear fur. Right. Well, I'll tell you what. I think I'm pretty much done with that. There's not much else I can do with it at the moment, apart from let it dry. And once the sand is dry, and I can then give that a dry brush and just finish off the base, then varnish it, and then it's done. And that will be another one done, another building done, a little railroad. I think I'm going to make this an early one, I'm afraid. So I'm really, I don't want to start anything else. It's a bit too late to, and I've got to the point where I wanted to get to. So I think I'm going to make this an early one, unless anybody's got any questions that they want to ask in the last few minutes. I'll stick around for a little while just in case you've got any. Anything your burning questions you want to know? Paint your 15mm FLNC insurgents for Colsey 78 halfway through. Good. Bank holiday Mondays. Always see you playing the old Boomtown Rats hits. Yep, indeed. It's an oldie, but not a goldie. So yeah, I'll just let that dry a little bit and just have a little bit more of a chat. There's not much here. That's out. The other thing, I've got to paint is this building, but I don't, because there's so much to do on it. I don't want to start because it's going to be a big thing on its own. So it's going to need a proper session. I don't just want to start it and then get halfway through and not be able to see properly. Right, I'll get a little cat up for you here. Yeah, this'll do for the clicks, won't it? There you go. Get up there then. My co-star. Little Terror, Tiny Terror. Right, okay, I'm going to leave it to that tonight then, folks. I'm going to nip off. I'm going to go back and watch my barbecue programme that I was watching before. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hit that like button as well, don't forget. And I'll see you in the next live stream. It might be a live game. You never know. I'll see you next week, and if not, I'll see you on Friday for the next Storm Steel video. Good night all.